If you turn to supposedly Ghana television on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m., you should watch a abridged version of the program on there. Also, if you get a copy of the Business and Financial Times, the Thursday edition, you should read a lot about what transpires on this platform. Iron Pod returns shortly.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Oh, how are you?
Hi Yvonne, a few words please. Everyone is talking about the fire at your production house last week. How are you holding up? Has production stalled?
No, not at all. My crew and everyone on my set is perfectly fine because I insure with Serene Insurance. As a matter of fact, I've had all my equipment replaced, including the vehicles that were affected. My workers have been sorted out. Even my production downtime has been covered. So it's all good. I have a meeting to attend to, so I have to get going. Sorry about that.
Which insurance company did you mention?
Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance, a member of First Sky Group.
Sa coronavirus yare no yare a sign pa. So obinya bi na se opo wagu so ana se ohwinti gu so a utumenya yare ni bi.
Okadi ni bahani onaka oyehila ekoji. Ohebanye do. Obawulo. Ogobahunu. Obachine. Ojamba wohe. Obana sen kaka. Mekme musunchon. Mekme nuni enihi.
Coronavirus infection, the symptoms can range from mild, one of it being asymptomatic. Asymptomatic just means that you may not have any symptoms at all, and the disease process can gradually worsen to be a severe form, the severest being ultimately death.
We are expected to sanitize our hands when our hands are not visibly soiled or you can't really see dirt on your hands. If you can see dirt on your hands, the best thing to do is to wash your hands with soap and the running water.
If you're using any of the cloth face masks, always make sure you have a rubber bag ready to receive it when you remove it, or you have a bowl of warm soapy water in which you can place the mask and wash. Wash your mask, dry in the hot sun for at least 5 hours, and apply heat by way of ironing.
Utiliser les ports de Tema et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace.
Welcome to the program. It's Eye on Port, and today we're talking about the Continental Free Trade that began on the 1st of January. We're told that there's supposed to be a formal launch on Tuesday. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, will be there to launch that officially. My guest in the studio, though, Emmanuel Doni Kwame, is the Secretary General, International Chamber of Commerce, Ghana. Louis Yao Aful, Executive Director, African Continental Free Trade Area Policy Network, or AFTA Policy Network. Joseph Agbaga is a member of ICOMS, ICOMS Implementation Team. Agbaga, am I right? A former president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. So I'm going to have to pick a message from the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. He's got a message for the port community quickly, and then we will commence the discourse. Unfortunately, we're running out of time today, but we'll pick that one quickly and come back.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, I would like to wish all employees of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority a happy 2021. I also want to wish all our stakeholders, our customers, port users, sister agencies, a happy new year. And to these two categories of stakeholders, staff and stakeholders, we know 2020 has been a very difficult year because of COVID-19. But it was a difficult year that we managed to sail through to date as a result of our collective effort by all employees, by all stakeholders supporting in various levels when the COVID landed in the shores of Ghana. As we look forward to 2021, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority wishes to assure all our stakeholders, all employees, and all other stakeholders and port users that we will continue to do what is expected of us, providing the port infrastructure, providing the facilitation needed to be able to get goods passing through our ports as quickly as possible, as cost-effective as possible, and as safely as possible. Ghana Ports remains a logistics hub of West Africa as we work towards achieving an Africa-wide logistics hub as Ghana being the focal point. We should celebrate the fact that the African Free Continental Trade Area is going to start from January, and Ghana has the honor of hosting the Secretariat. We are looking forward to the role each and every one of us is to play as ports, as all other stakeholders, to take advantage of this particular free trade area and grow business further in our economies.
Okay, welcome back. So that's the Director General, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Mr. Michael Loguje. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. We're going to do a quick, this one will be a race, but it ought to be done nonetheless. Maybe Louis, starting with you. After officially commenced January 1, what does that mean? People are asking, what is it at all? What has changed?
Well, very good evening to your viewers and good evening to my colleagues. I think that basically a ceremony has been inducted to start the trade.
At the continental level?
The continental level. It was done online to commence trading. For the next 4 months, practically, you didn't see much change. Practically. However, we have to let people know that trading has commenced. The rules of origin is 82% ready, and that 82% is going to be used until the rest has been fully negotiated and is ready. Again, custom officials have been fully trained among member states or party states to ensure that they can be able to differentiate what an after product is and what is not an after product, which is very, very important. One of the things that we are expecting also is that now that trading has commenced, there is the need for various ministries of trade and various trade establishments and thereafter to really publish their tariff offers. It is critical.
What do you mean by the tariff office? Now, people hear some of these jargons a lot. At this point in time, I wish that we break some of these jargons for the regular person to understand, because it's been a bit technical all through.
The tariff offers are the list of products that each country says, I'm ready to liberalize under the 90% tariff liberalization.
That means that it's not all products that are liberalized.
No.
And so some products are not liberalized.
They are not liberalized.
That means what?
That means that those are the products that fall within the 10%, and those products are sort of protectionism approach.
Okay, when you say they are not liberalized, it means that you cannot just trade in them.
It means when you export there, it will attract tariffs, tax on export.
So those are the exempt, like they are exempted from the regular free, duty-free kind of.
They're exclusives. Okay. We call them exclusives.
Yeah.
So what it means is that by this time, local businesses should know what products have been liberalized.
Yes.
So that when products are coming from other countries into their country or their markets, they can be able to identify that these products are under the exclusives. And therefore, we are watching whether they'll be allowed into the country, because such products can cause or can shake some of these competitive industries. So that is what is very, very important. I'm sure that come the Tuesday program that you are talking about, they're going to highlight some of these. Some countries are starting to. One other important thing is that most regional countries, most regions went as a block in terms of presenting their schedules of tariff offer. You have East Africa, West Africa.
So the SADC block, for instance, will say that these 10 products you cannot trade in, you cannot export them or import.
They said that these products are the ones we are ready for, the 90% liberalization.
Is the figure 90% and 10% mandatory?
Yes, the 90%.
Can I do less or more?
The 90% is liberalizing 90% of products. 10% is made up of sensitive products and exclusive products for all members.
Okay.
So the 90%, however, not all countries have the same figures in terms of the economic size. So some of the countries that are going to have serious shocks when they are not receiving any revenue from export tariffs, what have you, are going to do progressively over the next 10 years. They'll liberalize over the 10 years period.
Okay.
Then the group of 6, let's say the developed African economies like Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, and the likes, they will liberalize over a period of 5 years.
Okay.
However, the last group, we call them the group of 6, they are the least developed. For them, Afrexim Bank has made provisions for about 2 years credit to support them while they liberalize, because they are going to experience heavy shock, because most of them don't actually produce much. And so if you ask me, this is what we mean by tariff liberalization. I mean, the tariff offers.
Okay. Then you are saying that most of these, most of the countries, party states have not made these lists available. So now that we have commenced trading, assume that I have some products that are supposed to go into Abidjan or Mali by tomorrow, for instance. I am not aware the products that Niger can allow or can be duty-free in Niger.
That is what I started by saying, that practically, even though trading has commenced, we're going to have about 3 months to come to have serious business.
Okay.
Because not that they have not, they have to publish it to their local businesses, stakeholders. Some of them know. If you take AGI, they know. They know what the exclusive lists are. Okay. I'm sure Chamber of Commerce might also know. But it is important.
It has to be out there.
Yes, it should be out there for everybody to be aware.
For the business community, everybody should know.
That's where we are heading towards. That is very, very important.
But why is that difficult? If it's just publishing it has to be out there.
It is difficult because everybody, they have to adopt at the same time. That was the problem.
Who has to, the party states have to adopt at the same time?
That was why there was a summit for that, whereby they were now going to adopt what every member's schedules are. But at one point in time, when they went, at the time there were about 4 to 11 countries that were ready. So it could not be adopted. You have to wait for, now it's 41 countries whose owns are ready. So ECOWAS like this, there was no way Ghana was going to publish its list when they have not all together presented their tariff offers as a block. So though they've all presented, now ECOWAS, SADC, as you were saying, and other blocks have presented, now it has been adopted. It filters into the rules of origin. So the rules of origin is going to guide these tariff offers.
Okay. Let me bring Mr. Gbega. From where you sit, you are past freight forwarder, you're also a solid businessman and all of that. How do you view this commencement? What difference does it make for you and folks within your business?
Thank you. To begin with, and to take it from where Louis ended, my take on this is the lack of publications or to educate the stakeholders to know what it is. The tariff and the product that we are looking at. It has not started, and that is my worry. And when I check, even from my own association of whom I am a member, these are some of the questions that they are asking. That something like this, as at now, they are not seeing any move towards giving them any message or any education about what to do because of the sensitive position that the freight forwarders play. Mm-hmm. They are the intermediary between the business and government.
Yeah.
And again, they are the transporters of these commodities.
Yeah.
So the lack of early education in order to make them in readiness before the trading resumes is a worry, even to me. And behind the scene, we've spoken about it several times.
So who hasn't approached you then? Who should be leading this though?
I think
who have you spoken to?
That question, I beg to defer it. But I think if I have not spoken to anybody at all, I am aware of the GIZ who is planning to take stakeholders through some education and training.
GIZ?
Yeah.
I see.
The AFCFTA branch, and which I think early this year, the first training will kick off, which will include customs and other stakeholders like the freight forwarders together, so that they being the frontline agencies, they should be able to have that deeper knowledge, because they are the people who must position themselves as a repository of knowledge in order to drive the trading public. So though trading has begun, I think I think Tuesday, when the president initiates
the official launch,
practically in Ghana, we'll take it from there.
Mr. Donikwame, International Business Chamber of Commerce, International Chamber of Commerce, what have you been observing? After is here.
I wouldn't say there is a vacuum as it's being presented, because...
That's the picture you're seeing?
Yeah.
And you don't see that?
Yeah.
Really?
Because we already have TAKORADI, and then we have the ETLS. And
it's not the same as after, is it?
I know, but after we declare that the regional blocks will be the institutions that will move the scaling up of the integration effort. So for now...
Are we to apply the same rules then? Because then why did we negotiate some of the rules and all of that?
I know the tariff liberalization schedule is being put together, and I understand about 41 countries have presented their offers. So with that, if the regional blocks are presented theirs, and ECOWAS is presented theirs, then definitely...
If it applies to the countries?
Yeah, whatever we have in there will be rolling till we have the full complement of the rest. I think the whole AFCA thing is one big move. We should congratulate the heads of states that's been pushing for that. But for now, from what I heard at the commencement ceremony, all the heads of states made it clear that yes, we will start with a digital gateway. And I know the the African Exim Bank did launch Mansa. I've gone through Mansa. It's a due diligence platform.
Mansa.
Mansa. Named after Mansa Musa, the greatest African that ever lived. You know, so it's been branded the Mansa digital platform. And it's a way of doing just background checks of people that you can do business with. You know, because the biggest challenge, we had a member who tried importing fish from Morocco and sent the money to the colleague and never got a fish. So then he had to put pressure on the embassy to retrieve his money. So these are the things that people will be waiting for, you know.
So that's more or less just one.
If you want to trade with somebody, you hardly interact amongst each other. Hardly before you see a Ghanaian traveling to go do business in any other African country. Within West Africa, at least we've started something. So ETLS is still there. If you manufacture plastics and you want to send to Nigeria, yes, you believe that AFCFTA should make things even more easier than before.
Yeah.
So that's where you start from.
Yeah.
If you want to go beyond West Africa to East Africa, then you have to look at the challenges that it comes with. And that's how come Afri-Eximbank has made it clear that as a first step, so first January, what do we have in place? At least we have Mansa.
Which is a digital platform where you can access and find business.
www.mansa.com. Mansa something else. I think you can Google, you know. And they are even encouraging the central banks to register the various central banks on the platform. They want the financial institutions rather to start registering. And then with us at ICC, together with Africa EI, we have an Africa PLC platform where we want to encourage SMEs to register on that platform. It was launched by the AFCSPA, World Customs Organization, and then other partners, you know, as a way of trying to bring buyers and sellers within the continent to start engaging each other, you know, because that's the first step.
No, but so then it means that this is one out of the 5 operational instruments that you're talking about. So the digitization.
That's the first.
And this is the step.
Yeah, the first step. Because the question everybody is asking that, what do we have in place now? Is there something to kickstart this, you know? And they made it clear that yes, the regional blocks are already working, so your ETLS is still in place until the full list of the trading liability schedule is presented for you to know what can be sent to each country and what tariff relief you are expected to get for each product. At least these ones are there. But who do you sell what? Because it's not something done by the government. It's meant for the private sector, for us to engage each other. So if I wake up and I want to sell something to somebody in Morocco, who am I going to sell it to? I need to know.
So I think that is just one
aspect of it that's been done.
Of the trading mechanism, because we will buy, you ship, and you pay.
Yeah.
Buy, ship, pay. So you have only gone to talk about
knowing your partner.
Your partner and how
now when you purchase and you exchange the business proper is missing.
Like you said, we have ETLS and all those things. And we have practiced that, and we know what we expect, and we know what kind of document that we expect to see or to present to customs, either here or out there, for the product to get that relief from import duty. We are aware of that. When it comes to after, what document are we looking at? These are the practical questions that for me, I'm looking, because that is what is going to facilitate the movement of the product from country A to country B.
Yeah, and then, so maybe Louis, help me get it. Now, we have 5 operational instruments, I think. And one of them, the digitization, the rule of origin is supposed to be the major one. Everybody is looking at let's get to know the products we can send out and products we can bring in. Mr. Donkwame says that a private, well, Afri-Exim is not really private, but that initiative has come from Afri-Exim. If that initiative has come from, that is the digital side, is that supposed to be what we should all look out for and say, okay, this is the first step. For the next 3 months or so, let's all go towards this direction? or a lot of things were supposed to just initiate at the same time?
I think that we need to clarify a few things. AFTA came to build upon the existing blocks of the regional players. That's first.
Yes, like
good. Secondly,
said.
AFTA came with one unique thing, that is a 90% tariff liberalization. 90%, and then the 10% exclusive, whereby, and then the free movement of people protocol, which is supposed to be progressive. Now, in the negotiations, let's not forget that we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We're supposed to have digital payment as phase 3. However, because of COVID, it has been fast-tracked. We want to see it in phase 2. Nobody disputes that. One of the things that people are asking is that now that the whole continent has negotiated on one thing, it means that they have considered certain basic things that are expected that by the time that they launch, those things are ready. Let's also remind ourselves that the Secretariat is to be a referee between private sector governments so that they can be able to coexist and partnership in all fronts. For example, this is where at this point it can never be possible. Mr. Former President said something here, very important, Mr. Joseph. You see, some of the things that people might be looking out for example, the after, what do you call it, this document, what do you call it, this export document.
DTLS document.
Certificate of origin. Okay. You had the ECOWAS one. So they're supposed to have the after certificate of origin. Now I've seen the format sample. Now it's going to be printed differently in the other different regimes and under members. However, it's going to be the same format. That document is ready, but it should be given to who? The to whos and whens are what people are asking. That's what we are saying that by this time, even though it has taken us smoothly, you need to trade with somebody. The person you are trading needs to know the product you are going to trade with. And so it is the tariff schedules that you are going to negotiate that your business people should be able to know. I have a feeling that Ministry of Trade from next week will publish these lists. After they have published, that is not enough. Now the Chambers of Commerce, I'm sure that Chamber of Commerce Ghana here will be also given that empowerment to issue the after certificate of origin. But people are asking, before the Chamber of Commerce, have there been any kind of program, training, awareness where exporters or importers will have been taken through? This is what practically I've been saying, that it will take some time after the launch for some of these realizations to come through. But that does not mean that trading cannot continue. When, in fact, the first day of the launch, there was a quick example between this Ethiopia Airlines and then they only mentioned Mansa. There's another one, Sudoku or something. They did a first shipment, free first shipment of consignment. And then also, forget not about
that was an airline, not a shipping line.
Airline, yes.
Okay.
We also have
DHL,
I think DHL,
yeah.
yes, DHL, free test flight.
Yeah.
Then we have the Pan-African payment system. That is also another.
That's work in progress.
That is working in progress. But even that one, we said it was ready because Reserve Bank said it was ready. So that's another what they call instrument that is also. Then don't forget about the local coordination offices. These are one of the most important things I want to emphasize. Ghana has made a very good stride, especially with setting up the Ghana Local After Coordination Office, which is part of the recommendation that was given by the African Ministers of Trade at their recent meeting. Why? Because the Secretariat is a diplomatic status. There is the need for every member state to have these local coordination offices that will now bridge the gap between businesses, private sector, and then the government, and then the Secretariat. So that to be like let me say, a mini embassy, where you can go there, inquiries, program directions, and I'm even sure that the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Ghana After Local Office, team that will be doing some kind of awareness sensitization recently. So most countries have not set up these after local coordination offices, which they have to. Because it's these coordination offices that will monitor and evaluate some of the agencies that are supposed to play along with the implementation of the takeoff in terms of the trade. A critical example is the Exporters and Importers Associations of every country. The local offices are supposed to coordinate, give the feedback to the ministries of trade. Forget not that the ministries of trade are the supervising agents of AFTA Secretariat.
Yeah.
If you look at the structure, the ministers of trade, they are supposed to meet to advise which structure AFTA Secretariat should even take. They have to meet which programs must be run by AFTA. And so if you come down to their countries, then it means that their agencies should should also make sure that on the ground, things are working playing alongside. So this is where I share with Donita, yes, it is playing, but also share that we should give ourselves some time. But the agency, this is the time they have to come out to make sure that businesses are now aware. I really commend also Egypt. Right from the word go, Egypt devoted to about $20 billion for this whole project.
I see.
For
the
this
country?
Yes, after project. Apart from devoting that money.
But Ghana has equally done something huge. I mean, with the Secretariat and all of that, money that has gone in is quite...
Yes, Ghana have set the pace in so many ways. Yeah. But I'm saying that...
But that is not enough. It is not enough because the Secretariat is just like a diplomatic status. Now, from that after office, there must be that coordinating office that will see to it that each agency that is in the supply chain, especially the manufacturing sector.
I was going to say that, just not to take and interrupt rudely, the ministry has actually set up some of those coordinating offices.
Yeah, we have one.
You know, they have done that. And then also, I know that GPHA has been doing together with the Ministry of Trade, they've been doing the regional training and all of that. But one wants to look at the missing link then. If, in spite of all of that has been done, we're still seeing that down there on the ground, the business folks are still not getting the message. What is missing? So you talk about your people, the freight forwarders who you think that they haven't gotten enough information at this point in time, even though we know that from the ministries there are coordinating officers and some training or some workshops are going on.
I tell you, I don't know. Okay, Donnie.
Yeah. For a businessman, I want to know who is on the other side of the border that I can do business with.
Yeah.
That's the first step. The regulatory agencies and their documentation, that's
another matter.
But for the first step is to know that I have a buyer for my product or a seller of some raw material that I can use as an input for whatever that I do. So those are the things we are looking at for now. Otherwise, the opportunity will come and still the focus will be on doing business with the Far East or Europe. But we want to draw people's attention to look at how we can bring our strengths together within the continent. So as we wait for the necessary documentations to be done, I remember at the launch of the commencement of trade, the various presidents came up with some deadlines.
Yeah.
I know our president said by March we should have the payment system running, by June we should have this. So roughly we know by 1st of July everything should be in order. The new certificate of origin should be running. The interbank payment, the Pan-African interbank payment system is very, very important.
And the complaint system.
At least, you know, once you send goods out there, you get your money back, you know. So that one should be done. And then there's the regulatory agencies platform for the various countries. And then, as you mentioned, the publication of
the standardization and certification.
Yeah, so the publication of the list of items, so that once I know these are the goods I can send to East Africa, and the goods that I cannot send, then I know I don't fit into this.
Let me ask something what Donnie is saying, just a quick one. I am doing a project. One of the crucial things is I've done what each country exports and what each country imports as a first start. It's a paper I'm working on. Because I need to know the country I'm going, what do they need from me? So after that one, we now move to the next stage of what we want to do, the trade manuals. The person at Makola, the informal sector, How would they understand? How would this whole tariff liberalization as you are asked fit into their real understanding or comprehension? So we are trying to work on a trade manual. Then at the continental level, we are working on directories. And then what we call the after indices or index.
Yeah.
It is important because I should be able to know that import substitution is key. Ghana, we know we import so much wheat, what I know, from Iran, about 1 million tons. Nigeria, the next door, can supply that 1 million tons. So if we know that Ghana and Nigeria know the import substitution between them, then Nigeria can quickly move in to supply Ghana, vice versa. So this is one of the areas that businesses, agencies, private sector, CSOs have to team up and working to really sensitize their people that look, when you go to the islands like Seychelles and Mauritius, most of them, they don't produce anything. They focus more on their service industry and fisheries. So quickly, what advises somebody from the West? What can I supply Seychelles? So these import substitution programs, import substitution arrangements is what institutions, businesses must really work out for so that they can know their product identification, the product market. It's key. And these ones, you don't need only government to play this thing for you. Because once you are ready also to do business, you make inquiries to find out what you want to
Exactly. See,
to do.
Okay, please go ahead.
UNECA at the launch of commencement of trade made it clear that they're working on a country competitive strategy for each country.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
A competitive strategy for each country, so that at least you know your strengths. What product do you think you have some kind of comparative or competitive advantage as far as other countries are concerned? And then they will be working on this country business index, you know, on a regular basis.
So I'll be playing small bit of what the trade minister said. Very small bit of, just about 1 minute of the trade minister, Alan Shamantin, what he said about now that we have commenced trading, what it means, particularly for imports, for the port side, because a lot of people will be expecting that from January 1, the goods that I am bringing from South Africa, and that is what you hear from the minister, or the goods that I am bringing from, say, Nigeria or Cameroon to Ghana, if they fall under the 90% liberalized product, they should be free. So they should be duty-free. So they'll be expecting that from customs at the port. And that is why it is important we have this conversation, whether that is exactly what it is on the ground. But Louis, I want to find out this from you, if you have been able to capture it. I see that we have, and I'll get back to this the operational instruments again. So the rules of origin, the online negotiating forum, the monitoring and elimination of non-tariff barriers, a digital payment system, and the African Trade Observatory, the ATO. Which of these 5 can we say that we are set? All of them, we are set as of now, 1st January, that we have begun.
Well, I will go in for the rules of origin.
That rather
it's
because
running. It's 82%.
We are told that negotiations are still ongoing.
It is simple. It's 82% ready.
82%.
Yes, it is. And they said the recommendation that the African Ministers of Trade said, as at the time of trading, that is 1st January, we are going with 82. And I was on the same program with Dr. Mangeni. He's the head of programs and something like that, I think, after Secretariat. Yes. And he echoed the same thing. Okay. That once we are going with the 82, so as it stays now, the 82 is in place, in force.
I see.
Yes.
And what about the online negotiating forum? Is it similar to what Avrexim launched?
I wouldn't say so. What they launched was a due diligence platform.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's just for the sake of the private sector.
Mostly their focus is, the emphasis is on the
private sector.
No, the banks.
Okay.
The financial sector, because yes, it grants us access to market, but access to finance is key.
What is the online negotiating platform supposed to do?
The fact that, if I'm correct, you see, digital trade was supposed to be phase 3, but because phase 2 is not ready, and phase 3 is also far, because of the COVID situation we find ourselves, then the Secretary General made a proposal that then it has to be fast-tracked. That is the third for e-commerce. or e-trade. It has to be fast-tracked. So I think that in fast-tracking it can't be fast-tracked just easily like that. And so if my understanding is correct, it has to go through the same kind of negotiation process. And I think this is what they are working also on now.
And then the digital payment platform is supposed to be
that
what
is
we
the
are able to...
Pan-African payments and some of the ones that Donnie has mentioned. That one is in place or developed by the African Bank.
Okay. Is it ready and set, and can people start paying?
Yes, because that one you pay in your own local currency. You don't need to struggle with the foreign exchange rates.
Okay. Let me just take a minute of what the Trade Minister said exclusively to us.
For Ghana, yes, we believe in Africa, so we are doing this. But there are also benefits that will accrue to us. Above all things, it is also going to benefit the Ghanaian consumers, because what the free trade area does is to eliminate tariffs or duties on goods that will be exported or imported between African countries. It means that if let's say I'm an importer in Ghana and I bring goods from South Africa, the goods will now land in Ghana without duty. And obviously that becomes a benefit to Ghanaian consumers. It means that the prices will be lower. And so apart from the manufacturers and apart from the jobs that it will create, it will also benefit Ghanaian consumers. And beyond that, as a country, hosting the Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat by default makes us the new commercial capital for the continent. And I cannot tell you, this is probably the most powerful stimulus for attracting investments into our country. Because if people, investors from other parts of the world now appreciate that locating a production facility in Ghana will them not only sell in Ghana, but actually sell from Ghana to the entire continent. And that's a big deal. Once you have a single market, you enhance the economies of scale. It means that Ghanaian manufacturers now have the potential to export to a larger market that's going beyond the domestic market. Secondly, also it enables us to add value to our natural resources, and that's what industrialization is all about.
Okay, so we're back. So that was from the Trade Minister, for instance. So that's the expectation, that from commencement of trading, we are not expected to pay duty on some commodities that obviously are supposed to fall under the 90% liberalized products. And then your question will come to the freight forwarder: how do I get to know that these products fall under the liberalized ones that are coming from a neighboring or party state? And then for even the business person, the importer.
What is the document that is
backing this?
Backing in that, yes, this wine that is coming from South Africa, from this geographical zone to my jurisdiction, what does it mean? Does it mean that anything that comes from within the African country to my country, how do I treat it? Are they open to all, or there are some restrictions?
I think that is where the minister's statement is in two folds. One, the goods that are coming from that country where he mentioned is coming here because it's not paying tax on export. So it means that when they come, naturally, prices will be down for us to afford. But the other side of the coin is, that is where the businesses must be eye-opening to know whether those goods that are coming are not part of the exclusive list that are not supposed to enter the country, so that industries that are growing will not be suffocated. Secondly, the rules of origin will play actively here, because the rules of origin has made it clear for value additions. Where it is originating from, the materials they use to produce, are they going to put their ex-factory price? The rules of origin says, no, this time, once we have given you 60%, 61% of value addition, make sure that you don't go beyond that. And so if the country originating goes beyond the 61% to about 70%, brings it here for you to buy it at a lower price, he's going to benefit, you are not going to benefit necessarily. So the rules of origin issue is very critical, and that is why our ports, custom officials, this is where their responsibility is really, really very important. But who checks the one? That is where your question is.
Exactly.
Customs will be here. What are the ones going to keep this document? This whole rules of origin, there's going to be there about 500 pages.
Yeah.
It's about 1,004.
And I think it's part of the documents that they are or part of the presentations that will be made on Tuesday, God willing.
I have the soft copy. It's about 1,004 pages.
That's my position. That the AU, through the various countries, should be able to build the capacity of customs.
And it is based on transparency.
Yeah, the first step is the publication for us to know which product
Exactly.
is exclusive.
Exactly.
For we business people, we just want to know. If you tell me I can't bring this, if I bring this, at least in 2021, once I'm planning for the year, I know how I'm going to benefit.
You adjust.
You know, so those are the things that should come out quickly.
Let me
before the end of the first quarter.
I agree. Then let me say though that Mr. Fetchinakoto, who is the main custom person, my producer, billed him for today. But because of all these programs that are going on and because of what is expected on Tuesday, Lord willing, he should be here next week and he would explain all those areas. What's supposed to happen.
There is after Rep 4, rules of origin.
Yeah.
Ghana.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's expected to explain to the port community, importers and exporters, what would be happening around this period in particular. So that program is on Tuesday, and we'll get him here next week, Lord willing. The president also spoke exclusively to us. Let's just take a little bit of that, because eventually the longer version of what all these leaders who are spearheading this particular project have said will be played across most of the networks across the country. The fuller versions of what you probably are seeing snippets of on this platform will be played. Listen to that of the president quickly.
When you consider the fact that trade between African countries remains low, currently standing at some 15% of our combined GDP, compared to other parts of the world, like the European Union's 75%. It is obvious that these low levels of intra-regional trade cannot improve our prospects of bringing prosperity to our peoples. A large part of the growth and prosperity that we seek in Africa will come from us trading more among ourselves. With trading on the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, starting today, it provides us with the vehicle for us to trade among ourselves in a more modern and sophisticated manner. It will offer a huge opportunity to exploit the abundant wealth and resources of our great continent for the benefit of all our people. And it will give us protection in how to deal with other trading blocs. For us in Ghana, the successful implementation of the AFCFTA ties in perfectly with the vision of moving our country to a situation beyond aid. A self-reliant Ghana that has freed herself from a mindset of dependence and aid and is determined to make intelligent, disciplined use of her considerable resources the basis for her growth and prosperity. This vision can be better realized if we can leverage the trade and investment opportunities the AFCFTA presents. Ghana's government is fully committed to the implementation of the AFCFTA, evident with the siting of the headquarters of the Secretariat in Accra. With the collective desire for shared prosperity, we are confident that the AFCFTA will succeed and provide a new impetus and dynamism for the rapid growth of Africa's economies and deepen the process of integration in Africa. Empowered Ghanaian enterprises will be frontline actors of this new exciting journey in Africa's economic history. We owe it to generations unborn to ensure that the biggest trading bloc on the globe will be rewarding to...
Okay. Yeah, so that was the president and the message for the 1st of January when trading commenced and all of that. And like I said earlier, fuller version of all of that will be on quite a number of networks, not just even in Ghana, across as well. So you may be looking out for it wherever you find it, plus many more. But Ms. Agbaga, one of the things that you have raised, and I've heard you quite often on other platforms raise, is how one is able to determine some of these products when they are coming from countries that, or member states, for instance. Yeah. Is that your difficulty as a freight forwarder or as a business person?
It cuts both ways. That even from my country, if I'm a manufacturer and I said I've manufactured this, who is giving me that certification that these goods that I have, they have come to check and have seen that 60 plus 1% is an goods. That only 40% is value addition.
No, it's 61%.
61% value addition, which means that 40% must be what?
It means that whatever, foreign.
Yeah, must be foreign. So my value addition is 60 plus 1. Now, who is to
determine that?
Determine that for me.
Yeah.
I think that what it means, the question you're asking was be phrased like they know that you can't produce everything here. Some of the raw materials we can't get in Africa. So whatever be the case, you will purchase it.
Yes, exactly.
Abroad.
Because of course there's a free zones.
They have factored all that into your raw material input, the originating and non-originating status, to be 61% value addition. So that whatever be it, after all that you've done onto your product, whether you bought it outside, whatever price it, the 61% should be enough for you within what the rules of origin has provided to give you an originating status. And this is where he is asking who
would determine the 61%, yes.
That
and that determines all of that. Customs?
Okay.
Precisely. Okay.
And their job is to make sure value addition for goods manufactured within ECOWAS meet the requirements and ATMs. So this has been going on.
But for instance, at the port, if some of these products have arrived at the port,
they are trained.
Who then determines that?
Before you even export, you should have satisfied
these.
Because you start with that before you are issued with a certificate of origin.
Lonnie, I think
that. So that is on the export side.
Yeah, from the export.
Okay.
Exporting from.
But the question you asked at the port, we are saying that the customs have been trained under this after custom cooperation
to satisfy the concern of Mr. Agbaga.
Yes, I'm saying that to determine per what we have been told, custom authorities, custom officers under AFTA have been trained to identify what is after and also to be able to assess that 61% value addition. And how they are going to do it, I wouldn't be in the position to be in the office to assess, but I'm sure that this is where his question, but this is the work of the customs. They have been trained and after to do it. So they are supposed to really do it. And like you are saying, Mr. Fenek will be coming out next week to explain certain things, because the last time we met at GIFTIC, he made mention of what is now going to happen. So they are the agencies, authorities that are going to handle these, what do you call it?
My suggestion or recommendation should be that before the certificate of origin, the new one, is issued for any product, all these things should have been considered.
Yeah.
If it's a manufactured goods, you have to satisfy the agency that's supposed to check, make sure the factory that does that meets those requirements. So products coming from their production line, we know that, and then there's regular visits.
Yeah.
And then standards authority also make sure they meet the right standards. Then the certificate is also issued. So the certificate then takes care of all the requirements that's supposed to
aside that, all what we are discussing here is just to whip up
and get the responses from relevant sources as well.
People's mind to start looking out for all this.
Yeah.
But what I will also caution about is not to make the rules of origin so complicated and so
that would not be attractive to the ordinary.
So that it becomes another red tape or barrier to trade. We must make it simple, predictable, and at cost effective. That we should not begin to use it as an IGF.
Okay. So
because we will be tempted when we move under fees and charges. If we are not careful, it becomes another IGF.
Yeah. So there's
which we must guard against.
Yeah, we're getting some messages are coming across, and some from quite technical folks who equally feel that some of these discussions are done. They have to discuss. They take place at the strategic and technical levels. You know, most of them are rhetorics, and we're not getting them down there, and it's worrying. People feel that the commentaries are becoming too many at the high level.
Mr. Joseph made a point. I think that his fears, you see, and it has been happening in most free trade areas. When his concern is about who really supervises the assessments or to determine what goes, that is where, if you are not checking, you're going to create dumping. Because a practical layman understanding of dumping will be that, let's take 3 countries. The originating country first.
Yeah.
And then the final place of the product. Then, between country B and C, C is the final destination. It's coming from country A. Yeah. Then B is a transit to country, for landlocks, it's a transit to country C. Then what happens? B or C now receive the goods. It is repackaged. It is repackaged. Excuse me, it's repackaged in C and sold back to B.
Okay. I have to again rudely interject and say that we have to end the program by the instruction that I got from the general manager. I'm supposed to end at 7:15, but a very important assignment happened at the port, and we have to let this go. We have to let you see it. The entire port gave thanks to the Lord for a very good year 2020 in spite of all the difficulties. Let's see that before we end finally.
The staff and management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority have held their annual Thanksgiving service to appreciate the goodness of the Lord for a successful 2020. Despite the COVID-19 challenges that affected the year, the workers of GPHA shared the moment of worship and thanksgiving with other stakeholder organizations who have collaborated consistently with the Port Authority in the day-to-day activities within Ghana's port and maritime industry. Led by the veteran Ghanaian female musical trio, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, the staff sang and danced away their gratitude in praises. The GPHA choir also entertained the staff with some hymns. The director of Port of Tema, Sandra Opoku, said, in spite of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on port business, the authority, through the tireless efforts of the board, management and staff, remained focused to pursue its vision of becoming the trade and logistics hub of West Africa.
When reflecting even on a worse situation, we still have to find something to learn from it and be grateful. And this year, we have been challenged to make the change for the better. We have done things differently and learned along the way.
She commended the stakeholders of the Port Authority for their contribution towards ensuring that port operations weren't interrupted. She stressed the need for the port community to be thankful to God for the year 2020.
The maritime industry, thankfully, was not so severely affected as we feared, and God has blessed the work of our hands. This year GPHA handled more container vessels at Terminal 2.
The Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguje, in a speech read on his behalf by the Director of Port of Keta, Dr. Alexander Iduse, commended the President for his intervention in ensuring that the handling of reefer containers at the port returned to GPHA.
When the Revenue Authority argued that reefer containers were not secure enough in GPHA's facilities and issued directives for the containers to be handled by MPS Level 3, Mr. President again listened to GPHA management and labor and intervened. And today, GPHA is fully handling all reefer containers and all other containers that are meant according to the terminal.
He revealed that GPHA will be taking delivery of some equipment in the first quarter of 2021 in order to improve on it.
Okay, so we have to wrap up, and it appears that there's a lot that we need to be discussing, especially from now going. Almost every day, this is supposed to be a very serious discourse, because as we have discussed even behind the scenes, at the ports, if you are not careful, it's going to create some chaos. People will come in and say, I've brought goods from South Africa, they say it's free. This one says, I brought this from Abidjan, they say it's free. If you are not careful, it will create some chaos. So the discourse ought to begin as soon as now. And thank you, gentlemen, for starting the conversation. God willing, we will continue on this platform and many others as well. Mr. Emmanuel Donikwam is the Secretary General, International Chamber of Commerce, Ghana. Mr. Louis Yao Aful, Executive Director, After Policy Network, and Mr. Joseph Agbaga, member, ICOM's implementation team, and also former President of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. Thank you for watching.